Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Carrie with Cast Designs Handmade, also my stupid, crazy, busy, crafty life. I want to thank Oby for entrusting me in doing this tutorial for you guys today. This is my first tester pattern, and for her to ask me to do the tutorial, it just means the world to me, so I'm really appreciative of that. Again, it's the Connie Bag by Oby'S bag patterns. I keep messing that up, I'm so sorry. So this is the original size Connie, original pattern. So the first round has, in the original design, I guess I should say, has this separated V here. It is a slip pocket, and I kind of like the design of these being separated. And then, you know, you can make your own piping. And then it has 3 pockets. I have them unzipped, but so 3 pockets, pretty good size pockets. One has a slip pocket, one is just completely open, and then you've got one with a zipper pocket. Zip it up for you so you can see. It's a pretty good size bag. The finished size of the original bag is 12 wide at the base, 9.5 inches tall, and 7.5 wide. So, and then on the back, it has a travel sleeve, so you can put it on your luggage. But so yeah, this is the original pattern, full size Connie bag. Fabric is oh so pretty. MoreMeKnow zipper pulls. Siah Swag zipper tape, and I used Siah thread. And the hardware is from Wawak, whatever. And then Oby asked me to make an 80% for the tutorial, so I've never done a smaller version of a pattern, so that was a little tricky for me, but I think I did okay. So this is the second version, alternative version, where the straps are on one piece. It does make it a little bit easier at the end to finish it. This is a drop-in top. There are 2 ways to do the top. You can do it this way, which is drop-in, or you can do a birthing method. But again, I wanted to do the original because I think it's fun, challenges me, so I haven't tried the other way, and I'm probably going to, but again, slip pocket. And on this pattern, this is all one piece. This, where my sits are upside down, sorry. On the original, these are 3 separate pieces, so you could do it either way. Again, the 3 zippers here. I wanted to make sure my suits were going the right way, and they were. Again, another travel holder back here, so you can take it on trips with you. I did put this closure on the wrong way, but I kind of like it, so you could have 2 ways to do it. And then same inside. On the second version, the pockets are a little bigger, so I think that is going to be in the pattern that she makes the pockets bigger, because that was like one of the things, is the pockets were too small. But I encourage you, it's fun, so go make one. Go buy the pattern at Oby'S Bag Patterns. I will link it in the description. Thank you, Oby, for allowing me to make this tutorial. I'm exhausted and I'm gonna go to bed, but I hope you all enjoy it. Go buy the pattern again. I said that already, but go do it.
You're saying it in a bad way.
Okay. Hi guys, I forgot to mention in my intro that the Siah bag, that fabric is from Fabric Therapy, of course. Everything else is the same. Alright guys, so I am going to go over the materials for the Connie bag. I am doing 80%, so this one's a little bit smaller than the normal one. So first we're going to start with our front and back exterior pieces, and then we've got, and these are interfaced with Decoville Light, and then I've got the bottom piece which is interfaced with Decoville Heavy, and then we have our gusset pieces. This is our exterior zipper panel, and then we have the exterior travel holder, the front panel with lining and exterior. We then have our strap connectors, our handles, slip pocket accent piece, and then for our lining there's going to be 3 different pockets, and so we have our main pocket, and then we have 2 pockets. One will have a zipper pocket and one will have a slip pocket, and so there's those cuts. Then you need also, this is the travel holder closure, so exterior and lining piece, and then you need 2 pieces of 27-inch long piping. I'm using pre-made today because I don't want to make my own. And then we need 3 zippers. So one will be for your inside pocket of one of your lining pieces, and then you need 3 zippers for your top panel. You'll need some rivets, and then I've got, that's the wrong basket, hold on just a second. You'll need 4 square rings. Four square rings, 1 snap or magnetic snap, 5 purse feet, 4 zipper pulls. I was going to do a different pattern, exterior pattern vinyl, and I didn't have enough, and so I needed to change my zipper pulls. So hopefully those will be in before I need to finish this video for Oby. Otherwise, I will just be using these zipper pulls from MoreMeKnow. Then I have my name tag. And then I have a sewing blurb stab. It says, "Dear me, don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing great." So just a nice friendly reminder. We'll need needles, double-sided stick tape. I have an 1/8 and then 1/2 inch. My machine doesn't particularly love double-sided stick tape, and so I also have Elmer's glue. A 1-inch ruler, which I just had it, I don't know where it's at. My tag placer from Heartwood and Hyde. A rivet die from Jolie Lee Creations that will help me when I'm putting my handles on, where to put my rivets. And then I've got vinyl markers. I've got some chalk marker or chalk pen. I've got a regular pen, an X-Acto knife and my trusty torch lighter that I got from Amazon. So that's pretty much all the supplies. Clips, more clips, and of course scissors, cutting mat, all those things. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Obi asked me to do that for her, so I'm gonna do the best that I can. So let's get started. Okay, so the first step that we're going to do, well, after you put your stabilizer on, is we're going to do this front pocket. And so all you're going to do is line the two pieces together. There are two different methods doing this. I'm doing the second method. I will probably make another bag with the original design, but Obi asked me to do the 80% with the changes, and so that's what I'm doing. So then you're just going to sew this with the seam allowance in the pattern. I am also using Tech 70 from Siah Swag. And if you hear anything in the background, that would be my dumb dog who thinks she needs to be in the kitchen because I'm in the kitchen. She's not, because she thinks she needs to eat whatever's laying out, which there isn't anything, but she also likes to get in the trash. So back stitch at the beginning and the end as well. And I'm using vinyl and waterproof canvas from Fabric Therapy. Okay, and then to reduce the bulk, you're going to trim the outer corners. And then you're going to make a cut down the middle. I'm going to do this from the back since my middles didn't quite line up. And then just finger press your edges down. Alright, and then you're just going to top stitch around the feet, and then you're just going to baste the edges together. Oop, got a little off there. Okay. Okay, next we're going to do the accent panel connector pieces. So you should have 4 of those, and then you just set this off to the side. So on these, you're just going to prep them like you would any other handle, drawing a line down the center. I am using 1-inch square connectors, so alright. And so then we're just putting double-sided stick tape along the line. You can do 1/2 inch. I just like to do 8 inch, or it's not 1/4 inch. It's 1/8 inch. So now that you have all of these strap connectors folded in on themselves to where they're 1 inch, and you can check that. We're just going to stitch up one side and down the other. Check the pattern real fast. Okay, so before you start sewing, you're going to measure 5 inches down. Make sure you use a pen that you can wipe off. If the pen works. Make sure when you're stitching that you're stitching from where the mark that you measured the 5 inches from. So, because you're going to So what you're going to do is you're going to stitch down 1/8 from the edge and then stop at that mark, stitch over, and then back up the other side. be kind of hard to see, but can see that. Okay, and then you're just going to set this to the side. And repeat this for the other 3 pieces. Next step is grabbing one of the main front panels. I'm just going to mark my centers. Now we're just going to baste this together. I'm just kind of trimming up the edges here. Okay, so there's your front panel. I feel like my suits are upside down, but maybe they're not. Maybe they are. Oh well. Yep, they're upside down. Oh well. Story of my life. You're gonna measure up from the pattern. So you'll do it from on each side of the center lines. I kind of skipped a step, so well, that stitching's terrible. On two of the connectors, you're going to put some double-sided stick tape on the back. The part that is not stitched. Dude, okay, I forgot. I'm doing 80%. So, I need to figure that out. Hold on just a second. Okay. Okay, and then there's another measurement. You're going to take your square rings, Okay. So you're gonna take that measurement, and I'm just gonna put a piece of double-sided stick tape to help stick on the back. Okay. Luna. Okay. And so now we're just gonna stitch this on, and let me just check something real quick. And then our front panel will be done.
So then what you're starting at the bottom, and then going
so the rivet placement is in the pattern. So refer to the pattern for your rivet placement. Alright, and so this is your front panel. It's pretty except for the part where my suits are upside down, but you know, whatever. So okay, so now we're going to work on the travel holder. And so there's two different ways to do this. You can cut one big piece, or you can cut an exterior and a lining. Just, you know, cut the main piece in half, and then that'll be your correct size. But I'm just going to match my sides up, sew it together, tube it out. So So you're going to clip the corners to reduce the bulk. I'm also trimming because I apparently can't sew straight. Okay, and then you're just going to top stitch the top and the bottom. So cute. Making sure my sits are going the right direction on this back panel. So now we're going to mark the place for the snap. Okay, and then for the snap, you're going to measure per the pattern. So I put a piece of stabilizer behind the prongs just to keep it from tearing out, and then I put a piece of duct tape over that to protect it when it's sliding in and out of the luggage handle. So then you're going to baste your sides closed. And you're just going to make vertical lines on the right side of your folder for the pattern instructions. Again, I am doing 80%, so my measurements are different than the pattern. And then you're just going to set this aside. So the next step is to grab your back panel and mark your centers. I also added my nameplate off camera, so I just measured it, I think 2 inches down. Nope. Yeah, I did 1.5 inches down because the center of the nameplate is 1.5 inches down. So. And somewhat centered. I noticed it's not really centered, but yeah. And then for your straps, you're going to measure from each side of the center for your strap connectors. Accent pieces, I believe, is really what they're called, strap accents. Again, there's 2 different ways to do this. I'm going to put the strap connectors down first and then put this on. You could do it this way. So it would look like that. But I'm going to try to do it with the straps hidden underneath this. So and then you're going, same thing that you did on the front, you're just going to mark where your strap connectors are going to match up. And then again, like on the front panel, we're just going to start at the bottom based, so up to this line, down, around, and back down. So and then you can put rivets on it like this one. And so rivet placement is in the pattern. So there's your back panel. Now we are going to sew up our piece here. You need to grab the pattern piece. You can do this step after you do this step, but I wanted to get that out of the way. So just follow the pattern. On your lining piece, you're going to line this up, and then you can punch a hole for your, well, not punch a hole, just kidding. Mark the center of your, for your magnetic snap, and then take your washer And then you're going to put right sides together. And then you're just going to fold over where you drew where you didn't stitch and shove that in. You might need to trim if you're doing vinyl on the outside and like canvas on the inside, you might need to just kind of trim some of this off for bulk. That will just kind of help with that. Oh, the tension is all sorts of messed up. But this is for me, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But then you're going to place your travel holder for the pattern. So I think my back panel is a little bigger than it's supposed to be, so we'll just trim that down, but this is also going to be in the seam allowance, so it should work out fine. You're just making sure that the middle of the travel holder matches the middle of the back panel, the same on the bottom. So then you are going to baste the side pieces on, but not sewing the bottom thing. All right. So we're going to stitch up to, so you're going to stitch along your top stitch and then go to the line that you drew previously, which mine's a little off because my strap is kind of crooked. So then you're going to stitch up along the side of your strap, your connector, and then you're going to stitch over one step and then stitch back down, and then pull, don't back stitch, just pull your threads through. Up or over, up, one over, down, you're done, and then you do this so on both sides. And then that will create your travel pocket.
So editing Carrie here, just letting you know that I'm putting this on wrong, so follow the pattern directions. So follow the measurements in the pattern on placing this snap closure on for your travel bag. It should go lining side down, and then you sew it and rivet it in, but for some reason I tried to put it on this way, which made it a lot more difficult. So just follow the pattern directions, and it should be pretty easy to get it on there. Again, when you're sewing this on, make sure you're following the pattern directions, using your seam allowance, pull your threads um, at the beginning and the end, don't backstitch. Okay, and now your back panel is complete. So you've completed your front and back panel pieces. Um, and next we're going to put the handles together. And just like whenever you're putting any type of handle or strap together, you're going to draw a line down the center of the strap using double-sided stick tape on either side of the line. Fold your edges towards the center and then fold it over on itself. Now you're going to top stitch your strap on both sides, and then strap your handles, and then your handles are done. Do that for both handles. I should also add you can do strap ends to once you finished with your handles, to give it a more finished professional look, but I did not have any of these on hand, so they're just going to have raw edges. So now I am just going to apply the rivets to the back. Um, so this is optional, of course. You would just put the rivets on according to the pattern, but you want them on either side of the travel pocket and then on your flap closure to give it more stability. Okay, now your back piece is done, and you can just set that aside. Next, we're going to work on the side gusset pieces and the bottom piece. So you'll need your piping, your side gusset panels, and your bottom panel. And right now I am just finding the centers of the side pieces on all all four sides. Next, we're going to prepare the bottom panel for the purse feet. So follow the instructions on the pattern of where your purse feet go. Once you have your measurements all figured out, you're going to take a hole punch and uh, punch the holes for your purse feet. I'm using a Japanese punch. It's just easier to get in there and get those done without having to finagle your material. Before you set your purse feet in place, you need to put a little bit of stabilizer. I used Decoville Light just to give it a little extra stabilization. And then once you get that on, put your washer on and put your prongs down. I also like to give the purse feet a little bit of extra stabilization by putting duct tape over the prongs. That way it gives it a little extra stability. Next, we're going to put our front and back panels on our bottom panel piece. And so line up your edges and use your seam allowance in the pattern. This will be a little tricky because of the strap connectors. So just take your time, make sure you've got it clipped good. Use a stiletto or a screwdriver or hemostats or something to help keep it in place. Repeat this for your other panel. Next, we're going to top stitch our bottom panel, and so you're just going to push the seam allowance towards the bottom panel and top stitch at a 1/8 inch. Now I'm just going to trim up the edges and make sure everything's nice and straight and even. And then find the center of the bag on both sides of the bottom panel. Alright, so that is your exterior piece almost complete. Now we're going to work on the gusset. So find your centers on each piece of your gusset. Once you have marked your centers, you will need to make a line per the pattern piece. So go ahead and make that mark. Now we're going to add the piping onto the gusset panel. So just find the center of your gusset, or not your gusset, your piping. Line up your centers and then work your piping around the gusset to the mark that you made previously. You may need to snip around your corners of your piping so that it fits in there nice and snugly. Once you get the piping situated on the first panel, go ahead and go over to your second gusset panel and do the same thing. Remember to snip your corners. Next, you're going to make a mark. You're going to snip at the mark that you made on the gusset piece, and then make a second snip according to the pattern. This is where you're going to make your 90-degree on your piping. It can get a little tricky, so take your time, make it look good. Do this for both gusset pieces. I cut out a bunch of footage because it took me forever to get the angles right, but now I'm just measuring, making sure that um, they are straight in line and equal distance from the top of the gusset. So, and then you're just going to stitch. You're going to baste the piping on both gusset pieces. Once you finish basting on your piping, you will want to go ahead and trim off those edges of the extra piping. Next, you're going to grab your exterior piece and starting on one side, line your gusset up, matching your centers, clip in the bottom, and then put a few clips there at the bottom. And then I like to go to the top, which, sorry, that's off camera. Didn't realize that, but that's basically, I just clip around, making sure. You also need to make a mark per the pattern instructions of where you start and stop stitching. when you baste. Now we're going to sew the gusset onto the exterior panels. You can certainly baste it on first and then go back and use the seam allowance in the pattern. That may make it a little easier, especially around the corners of the gusset. Take your time, use a screwdriver or stiletto, good lordy, and or hemostats. Hemostats actually probably would work really well on the corners. So again, take your time, use the seam allowance in the pattern. And here I'm just marking that suggestion in the pattern of where to start and stop your stitches. I suggest doing this before you clip it, but that's just me. Same story on this side. Line up your centers, put a couple clips on the bottom, and then line up your tops. Clip really good, and then when you take it to the sewing machine, baste your stitching on, and then do your seam allowance. Use a stiletto, screwdriver, hemostat, whatever will help you get around those corners. Alright, now that we have successfully got the gusset side sewn onto the exterior panel, check, make sure everything got caught in your stitching, and then we are going to turn it inside out. So, turn and burn.
So cute.
Alright, now we are done with the exterior. We're going to work on our lining. So, get your 6 pocket pieces out, your 3 zippers, um, and then your slip pocket and zipper pocket, and we'll get started on that. We are going to start with one of the inner pockets. Most important thing is to make sure you have your zipper pulls ready to go, so that you can put them on once you're done sewing your panels on. I am going to use Elmer's glue to put the base the zippers on, instead of using double-sided stick tape. So okay, so your zipper tape goes on the right side of the lining and zipper tape facing up. Center your zipper tape and baste with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. Beginning, remember to backstitch at the beginning and end. once you have both lining pieces on the zipper, go ahead and put your zipper pull on so that you don't forget to put it on, and make sure that they are all going in the direction that you want them to go in the end. Repeat that for the next two zipper pockets, and set aside. Don't forget your zipper pulls. Now we're going to work on our slip pocket and our zipper pocket. So make sure you're following the instructions on the pattern, because I messed this up, of course, because I'm a sloppy sewist. When basting this slip pocket, you want to sew the sides together and then you flip it. So follow the pattern, don't do what I'm doing right now because it's not correct. Now we're grabbing our slip pocket accent piece, and you want to draw a line down the middle and then put a piece of double-sided stick tape on, and that raw edge that you didn't sew together, which is what I did, you're going to place that raw edge against the line of the slip pocket accent, and then baste, then sew that on. Now you're going to sew on the slip pocket accent per the instructions on the pattern. You can do 2 stitches. I went ahead and did that just to make sure that I caught the edges on both sides. And now you're going to make a measurement in the middle of the slip pocket to create two small pockets on the slip pocket piece. So now you're going to grab your one of your zipper panels, the smaller of the two, the three. There should be two that are the same size and then one bigger one. Then one bigger one is your main middle pocket. So this one is one of the outside pockets. The pattern has the measurements for your placement, so make sure you refer back to your pattern for the placement of your slip pocket. And then you can just pin this in place, glue it with some temporary glue, however you want to adhere it. Once your pocket is pinned in place, take it to the machine and stitch with the seam allowance in the pattern. Make sure whenever you are getting ready to get to that center spot, you stop just before the center and go up one side, do one stitch length over, and then back down. You are now done with pocket number one. Put that aside and remember to take your pins out, check your pockets, and get ready to start on outside pocket number two, which will be your zipper pocket. We are now ready to do zipper pocket panel piece. So use your pattern to find the measurements of where to place your zipper panel. You can use pins to pin this in place as well. And there will also be measurements in the pattern to draw your zipper box. So refer to your pattern. Once your box is drawn, you take it over to your machine and stitch around the box that you just finished drawing. Once you have stitched around that box, draw a line halfway in between the box, and then you're going to make your cut line for your zipper. Make a cut along that line, leaving the triangles to cut with your scissors, and get as close to that edge as you can without snipping your stitches. Unpin your pocket piece and then pull it through the hole. Finger press it so it looks nice and sharp, crisp. The closer you can get to those stitch lines, the cleaner that line will be. I thought I would try to use glue on this zipper tape, but it just wasn't working. It wouldn't stick, and so I just decided to go ahead and use double-sided stick tape on the zipper instead, because I knew it wasn't going to be in my seam allowance. And yes, absolutely make sure that you put your zipper pull on this, and then it's going in the direction that you want it to go in. Don't be a part of that club. Once you have your zipper where you want it, you can go ahead and take it to the machine. I like to pull my threads to the back, so make sure you have a good tail before you start. I also like to leave my zipper pull out of the way, so I leave it on the edge, and then right before I get to that edge, I go ahead and pull it through. It just helps kind of keep it out of the way for a minute. And don't forget, once you get to this edge, go ahead and pull that zipper pull through so you don't become part of that club. And then go ahead and finish stitching around the zipper panel. go ahead and pull your threads to the back, tie them off really good, and then cinch them with a lighter, and then you're ready. Trim out your excess zipper tape at the edge there, and then go ahead and sew up your pocket on all 3 raw edge sides. All right, so we are finished with all the zipper pockets. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and get them ready to go on the zipper panel piece. So you will grab that piece out. You'll need some double-sided stick tape, and there'll be some measurements in the pattern that you'll need to mark on the inside
make your
of
marks
the pocket according to the pattern piece along the zipper panel piece. And then you're going to put double-sided stick tape along those edges. Now, remember, I'm doing 80%, and so my lines are a little bit off. But on the regular size, everything, as long as you do the measurements per the pattern, it works just fine. Now you're going to take a double-sided stick tape and put it on top of your zipper tape. On I'll do one pocket at a time. I believe the pattern says to start in the middle, but I found it easier to start on the outside, and then do the two outside pieces and then the center piece. So try it, see how it works for you, but that's what worked best for me. Um, and so all right, next we're going to put the zipper pocket onto the zipper panel piece. Again, make sure that if you have directional fabric, it's going in the right direction, that your zipper pulls are all going in the direction that you want them to go in. And then on this one, we are going to pull our threads through again. So make sure you have a nice, good long tail. And if you have a industrial machine, make sure you hold your threads because apparently I don't do that well. So if you've noticed that at all during this tutorial, and make sure that you leave tail long enough when you're done. Pull those through to the back, tie them off 3, 4, 5 times, and then cinch them with a lighter to seal them. And then you're going to repeat the same process for the last two, or for the other two pockets, but remember direction of your zipper pocket and your zipper pulls. Again, refer back to the pattern as needed. And if you trim off your zipper tape, make sure you cinch the edges. And for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and edit out me adding the other two pockets on, but I promise I did it the same as these other ones. I will jump back in when it's time to sew the pockets up. Alright, so we have all of our pockets sewn onto our zipper panel piece, and now we're just going to box out our corners and sew these pockets closed. So I'll do the same as I did with the other two pockets. I'll show you how I did this one, and then I will delete out the other two just for time's sake, because nobody wants to be sitting here for 4 hours watching me do the same thing 3 times. So we're boxing out the 1-inch corners, and whenever you sew these closed, you want to try and get up as close as you can to that top zipper. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a minute. Okay, so all three zipper pockets have been boxed out, and so you want to, match up your corners and clip it real good. And so, like I said, on this part, you want to get as close as you can to that zipper so that you can close off your pocket. I did change my foot. I had a zipper foot on there, so I switched it over to a regular foot. Make sure when you're stitching these close that you use the seam allowance in the pattern, beginning back stitching at the beginning and the end. And then we're just going to box the corners up. I apologize for the view, but basically I just brought the edges together, and then I'm gonna stitch them closed with the seam allowance provided in the pattern, and I will cut out the other two pockets. It's the same verse as the first. Again, I didn't hold my thread, so I'm re-threading my needle. Okay, so that's pocket number 1 done. We are now going to move over to do the other 2 pockets, but I'm going to jump ahead so you guys don't have to sit and watch me do the whole thing. But make sure that you open the zipper up and check the edges and make sure all the edges were caught so you don't have a hole in your pocket.